Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about why the dollar is dead. The US dollar is dead. So, big topic that we have been discussing for a while on this channel is the BRICS. In fact, I just made a video yesterday talking about the rise of the new financial system. On the screen right now is the DXY, the US dollar. Now, with this, it started to drop back in September. Has not recovered since. We currently are trading around this major support zone. This is the big area that I have been focused on for a while around the US dollar. Now, a big thing to address in this video is the US dollar is losing its dominance around the world. A big topic in yesterday's video was talking about why these currencies around the world, these nations around the world, are moving away from the US dollar to support their currency by not having it depreciate, by having it on the US dollar backed system. They are moving towards utilizing gold and having gold be their standard of trade currency, as well as just utilizing it in general, because at this current moment in time, the US dollar as we know it is extremely fragile. A lot of people look at this and say, well, the US dollar is doing very well. The US dollar is extremely strong, because when you go and look back in time, you know, we are at the highest point that the dollar has been at even recently with its drop down to 105 since going all the way back to roughly 2002. So yeah, as we look at the US dollar, is the US dollar strong? I mean, if you are looking at it from a chart basis, yeah, 100%. But we all know that the US dollar right now is extremely fragile. We are in an inflated time for almost all cost of goods. And the biggest problem that we are seeing is a major shift happening overseas. The BRICS have been moving away from the US dollar for a while, and this is no big surprise. I mean, obviously, as we pushed sanctions onto Russia, it was only a matter of time before they did move really quick away from the US dollar, because it really started back in March, and since then, it has not slowed down. One thing that I do want to share with you guys real quick from 801_XRP, we talk about regulations. The United States, right, has been dragging their feet. We do see here from Brad Garlinghouse, the United States is actually the only country on the planet that thinks XRP is a security. We're actually growing leaps and bounds outside the United States. Listen closely to this.
Some of these things we need to continue.
So work with Gary rather than against him. Why can't you guys bury the hatchet and find a way forward that you can make it a regulated product? This is Gary Gensler I'm talking about, the CFTC.
Well, look, the United States, interestingly, is the only country on the planet that thinks that XRP is a security. We operate in, I mean, we're actually growing leaps and bounds outside the United States. 95% of our customers are non-US. Just this week, we announced our key kind of product using XRP. It is now live into Africa. So we continue to grow. The dynamic in the United States, I think, is, you know, really the SEC not following what the law says and trying to grab power, because the Securities and Exchange Commission can only regulate securities. If these aren't securities, then they can't regulate that. I think you're seeing someone try to power grab as opposed to work constructively with the industry. Frankly, like, there is a process for the SEC to do rule making, public comment, to create rules. Enforcement, trying to regulate through enforcement is not constructive for any industry.
Just on that, I mean, where are we on a end of for the XRP story with the SEC? Because as you would have seen, I think you got a 10% spike in XRP on the back of speculation that it was done, it was over, and then it was perhaps dismissed as not over. So where are we on the court case?
So I mean, the good news, this is all in the public courts, so it's all very transparent. Again, transparency builds trust. The motions for summary judgment have been filed. They will be fully briefed in front of the court. It's in the Southern District of the Southern District of New York. I'm probably getting that slightly wrong, but that'll be done by the end of November. So the case will be before the judge by the end of November. The question is, how long does a federal judge take to make a decision on this case? You know, it could be 2 months, it could be 6 months. We don't know. You know, my best guess is certainly in the first half of next year there'll be closure here. And this is a truly pivotal case for the crypto industry in the United States. The United States is still the largest economy. I think we all in the crypto industry should care how this goes. But this really is the SEC trying to say this is all us. Gary Gensler has said he views nearly all crypto as securities. But frankly, he hasn't gone after a Coinbase. If he thinks all crypto securities, well, that means Coinbase is true.
Now, of course, yes, the United States is a big focus point. One thing that I do want to mention real quick is the downfall of the US dollar has started. The dominance that the US dollar has had globally is done. It's holding on to a string. That string is the petrodollar deal. Once that's done, the US dollar as we know it is going to crash. Now, why have we been focused on this for so long? Well, Russia, right? We do see over here, Justin, Russian President Putin calls to create a digital payment system for international settlements independent from banks and third parties. Now, we do see down here from Anderson Translation, they've already created and been working on it for years. My interpretation, XRP is the standard. Again, we don't know what they are going to utilize, but I do think that they are using cryptocurrencies. You might be wondering, why do you believe that? Well, let's actually look back on time in a few things. So one, this goes all the way back to 2019. They have been working on this for a very long time. BRICS nations discuss creation of new crypto for unified payment system. This goes all the way back to 2019, mind you. The BRICS have been moving extremely fast on crypto-driven payment processing systems as well as crypto-driven payments in general. We do see down here an efficiently operating BRICS payment system is capable of simulating settlements in national currencies and ensuring the stability of settlements and investments between our countries, which form more than 20% of the global influx of foreign direct investment. Now, as we look at a few things happening around these major banks, obviously we look at the ECB, big one. We actually do see the user of a digital euro, whether man or machine, must be clearly identifiable. The digital euro is on its way. We've talked about this many times with the ECB. The ECB has been really kind of focused on digitization of their financial fiat. And we do see this requires a European or better still, a global identity standard with every form of digital money. Customers should be identified using a standard that is just as strict as that which banks and other obligated entities are required to apply under current legal framework, pursuing the combat against money laundering and terrorist financing. Now, yes, like I said, I think that this platform has probably already been established. I think that they have been moving extremely fast on this because going back to 2019, November 26th. This was November 14th. This is the 26th. BRICS nations discuss shared crypto to break away from the US dollar and SWIFT. Mind you, this was 2019. March of this year is where we've seen sanctions being imposed on Russia. That is when we've seen Russia start to say, okay, well, we're done with the US dollar. We're done really kind of living under the means of being targeted by the United States, basically weaponizing their fiat currency and also the SWIFT network. Now, as we've seen this happen, there's been a domino effect really happening throughout this year, which is we've seen the BRICS stockpiling massive amounts of gold. We have seen them talking about moving towards crypto because we even do see like China considering a national crypto to bypass U.S. sanctions. Remember, China has been moving extremely fast on their CBDC, but this is all to get away from SWIFT. This is all to get away from the U.S. dollar, and I do think that the BRICS are going to continue to push forward through this. Now, what we did see today, or yesterday, if you will, Putin calls for international settlements based on blockchain and digital currencies. This was 13 hours ago. We do see Russian president believes a new system for international money transfers is needed to reduce dependence on big banks and third parties. He is convinced that cross-border payments relying on digital currency and DLT will be much more convenient. You seriously cannot make this up. We are in a time right now where DLT and crypto is becoming the global standard. This is very, very interesting. We do see down here, we all know very well that under today's illegitimate restrictions, one of the lines of attack is through settlements, and our financial institutions know this better than anyone because they are exposed to these practices. Today, the system of international payments is expensive, with correspondent accounts and regulation controlled by a small club of states and financial groups. Everything that we know of, payment-wise and financial-wise, is moving towards crypto. Based on the technologies of digital currencies and distributed ledgers, it is possible to create a new system for international payments and much more convenient, but at the same time, completely safe for participants and completely independent of banks and interference from third countries. Russia has been mulling over comprehensive crypto regulations in the past months, with increasing support for legalization of cross-border payments or crypto payments. In September, the financial authorities in Moscow started developing a mechanism for international cryptocurrency settlements, and yes, we do have that. A report recently revealed that Russia and Cuba, both under sanctions, are already discussing the matter. And here you guys have those reports going all the way back to, well, this was November 24th, so 4 days ago. Russia inches closer to launching a national crypto exchange. They do want to push for this as well. And we do see it makes no sense to deny the existence of cryptocurrencies. The problem is they circulate in a large stream outside of state regulation. These are billions of tax rubles of lost tax revenues to the federal budget. And also, this is exactly why we see crypto trying to be fully regulated within the United States as well. They want the tax money from all of this. And they also do mention a few things around like the central bank as well. A national crypto exchange needs an approval. Again, they're extremely bullish on crypto. November 8th, Russia's central bank report examines crypto's place in the financial system. Russia's central bank has released a report on digital assets, which looks at how the technology could be integrated into its traditional financial system. I have said it time and time again, frameworks will amount to mass adoption of crypto within the financial system. I do think that the future of finance will run on crypto-driven rails. This is happening at a very, very rapid pace. You see over here from September 27th, Russia aims to use CBDC for international settlements with China. No big surprise there. The BRICS are done with the US dollar. They are done having the US dollar be this weaponized currency that they are going to utilize to really kind of counteract what all these other major nations are doing. Yesterday, like I said, Ghana is done having their currency depreciate because it's tied to the US dollar. The US dollar as a reserve currency has been hurting these nations for so long. They are done with the US dollar. What do you see over here? September 6th, Russian government working on stablecoin settlement platform between friendly nations. State media. Stablecoins can be pegged to some generally recognized instrument, for example, gold, the value of which is clear and appreciable for all parties involved. This is why I say focus on the BRICS stockpiling massive amounts of gold. Gold will play a vital role in the future system. We could see everything aligning perfectly around gold, around stablecoins, around digital assets, around crypto. It is all a very important instrument in the future financial system. This is happening very fast. And last but not least, we do see from September 22nd, this is basically the same report, I want to say. But we do see Russian officials approve use of crypto for cross-border payments. So this was the secondary report after this. I was confused by the same image, but this was a couple days apart. This was September 6th. This was September 22nd. Cross-border payments has been the big focus point. We do see down here now that people are opening crypto wallets outside the Russian Federation. It is necessary to do this in Russia with entities supervised by central bank, which are required to comply with anti-money laundering and know your customer requirements. So, yes, everything that we know of, cross-border payment-wise, settlement-wise, CBDCs, all of it is happening so fast from the BRICS nations. This is why I say that they are the first movers right now around crypto. They are adopting crypto at a massive rate. The US dollar, as we know it, most likely will be finished. The reason why I say this is because all of these nations are done utilizing the US dollar. They are all moving away from the US dollar at a very, very rapid pace. Barely anyone is focusing on this. You are not seeing reports about this at all on the media. They don't care. They don't want to accept the fact that the US dollar as we know it is no longer the global reserve currency. Things are happening. Things are rapidly moving fast outside of the United States, and I think everyone should open their eyes to what is happening. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.